Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshak, and next is Mike Brenner. This is the NBA Odds Couple Show for Saturday, May 7th. We got four NBA playoff games coming up this weekend. We're going to cover them all in this show. Mike Brenner, you continue to give us great picks. You gave us Cleveland yesterday, looking like a loser in the first half. They came back and just dominated. That's the class shows. That's why you made the pick. And in the show yesterday, I asked you, why didn't you like them on the first half? You're like, no. Turned out you were dead on with that call, man.
If the Hawks are going to bring it, they were going to bring it early.
Let's put up the record for our overall record. Mike Brenner, you continue to do well. The lines, as the series move on, the lines get a little bit tighter.
Yeah.
How you feeling about these four games?
This is a tough one, Pistol Pete. I'm not going to kid you.
Yeah.
I'm really racking my brain on this one. There's just some instances, some factors that are going into these games, but let's just give it a shot.
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean?
I tweeted out two more second half plays last night. Both of them lost, baby.
What? Did you really?
Both of them lost.
Well, that's your first losing night on Pistol Pete tweets.
That moves my record to 15-6. Just still
there you go.
Record.
Very respectable.
And I tweeted the under in the OKC game. That one I'm okay with. I also tweeted the under in the Cleveland game. That was a terrible call.
Ooh, yeah, that
And I was overthinking myself. I was emailing with a guy. I was messaging with a guy who's a fan of the show, and I was talking to him. We were talking literally on Facebook about how I need to get more balls because the plays I liked in the Cleveland game were I liked the team total over. I said it in the show. You remember?
And pull that trigger, Pistol Pete. You got to do it.
Yeah, the only reason I didn't was balls. And I need to get
for
balls.
real, you overthink it, and then you question yourself, and then you start mind-fucking yourself, excuse my language, and that's what happens. That's what happens. And for me, anyway, when I went through that stage, and I went through it, I finally just had to come to a system I knew I was going to stick with.
Yes.
It was confident, it was ballsy, and by God, just stick with it. And that's all I know.
I make love to my own mind, and that just screws everything up. All right, okay. So the first game, Toronto-Miami. Now, out of these four games, I think this is the one I'm liking the best. We'll see what you have to say about it. Look, both games went to OT. Both these teams are flawed, but also decent. Feels like this game has to go down to the wire. Why would you not take Toronto plus 5.5?
Yeah, and you might. You might. You just might. I just can't pull the trigger with Toronto. I just cannot.
Why? You pulled the trigger with Toronto in the first
quarter?
On the
first quarter. But I'm talking about a full game.
Call.
I know, it was good. But on the full game, I just don't know. I don't know what Heat team is going to show up. Goran Dragic had a couple teeth knocked out, stitches and everything. And this kid buried a three to put it into overtime. He's ready to play. Is Dwayne Wade tired? What's going on? Luol Deng's, he's starting to shine, hitting some threes.
I mean, this is an old team. We talked about this in round one, right? They're still old. They're not getting any younger.
They're not getting any younger. I don't have a lot of confidence in Toronto. And, I don't know, Pistol Pete.
I mean, the problem, Miami had a lot of turnovers in the last game. Is that correctable? It is. That's something that's correctable, I feel. And then they just, Kyle Lowry and DeRozan.
They're still not clicking, but they're still finding ways to make it happen.
And are they going to start shooting better? They might. Look, you know what? I am going to give this as a pick only because I feel like, look, Miami's a good team, but I feel like 5.5 points. Both games went to overtime. At some point, whoever's up in this game is going to let the other team back, and it's going to be within a couple baskets going down to the last minute. I feel like you're getting a little bit of value here. Toronto plus 5.5. I'll give that officially.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do, Pistol Pete, I'm going to pull the trigger on the first half. Miami Heat.
Really?
Yes.
Minus 3.
Minus 3. All right. And here's my thinking. I think, and even if they're a little bit tired, still, somebody's going to have to step up. They're at home, and they know they need both of these games, so they got to come out early, and they got to establish the pace and the rhythm, all right, and take advantage of DeRozan and Lowry in this slump, because they're in a damn slump. And I just really think Goran Dragic is going to light up, knocking that teeth out, just man him up for real. And Hassan Whiteside should have a big game, but Luol Deng's going to be the reason they're going to cover this first half. Minus 3, Miami Heat.
Do you disagree with me that my sense is that all these games in this series have down to the wire written all over them, and that anytime you're getting a bunch of points is probably the way to go? Would you disagree?
Could be, except for the Cleveland and Atlanta, they just got their number. But
I mean,
for that one,
series,
Oh, absolutely. No, I totally agree to that.
Okay.
I'm not going to try to talk you off that pick. Let's put it that way.
No,
I'm not going to try to pull you off that ledge.
All right, now Golden State, Portland. Tough one. Golden State is up to zip. They covered both games, but the lines are very tight. You're right. They won each game by about 11 or 12. The lines were like 8.5, 9, 10 in those games. So they covered each one by a couple of points. And Portland did have an 11-point lead in the fourth quarter of last game. Now, class showed, and Golden State, not only did they win, they covered, but Portland had an 11-point lead in the fourth quarter. What do you make of that?
Well, this is my concern with Portland, or, I'm not concerned, but This is a young team. Right? When they had that big lead, all of a sudden it happened so quick and they were just, all of a sudden they were behind. It got fucking buried. Right. Excuse my language. All right. Okay. Does it tear the heart out of this young team, Pete? Or do they say, wait a minute, we got to dig deep? This is the same team that only had one starter return this year. They've done an amazing job. All right. But does Golden State go, you know what? We're up 2-0. We can kind of slow down a little bit. We're going to wait for Steph to get back. I can't figure this one out. I'm staying the hell off it.
But it's a small spread. It's only -3.
I know it. Well, I thought it was 2.5. You got a 3?
No, 3 or 3.5. It's
3
been
or
climbing
3.
up. Yeah.
Okay, wow, climbing up.
So you're not going to touch this game?
I'm touching it.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
touching it. I'm touching it.
Right.
I'm touching it. And I said it the other day. You know why I'm touching it? Because the other day I told myself, jump on that. It's not going to lose. I'm going with Golden State -3. I think they're just a veteran enough team that they can get it done and know, hey, let's get this thing over with. Let's knock these guys out. They see what's going on with San Antonio Spurs.
I mean, do you
playing
feel
phenomenal.
There's been a long rest for this game. Do you feel that helps Golden State or Portland more?
I think it helps Golden State.
Right.
I really do. And I think Portland's questioning themselves, or they may not be saying it out loud, but deep down they're like, what the hell happened? How did that happen? And I think they're going to try to force it too much. And the experience from coaching and the experience from the guys that were on that championship team last year pays off. They just share the ball today. You're going to see a lot of ball movement.
Yeah. And what about the first half? It's just -1.
No. If Portland has anything in the tank, they're going to empty it early, I think that could happen. But I'm just not ballsy enough to pull it for Portland. But I'll take Golden State on the game, Pistol Pete, -3.
All right, and then moving on to the Sunday games, Cleveland and Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta just, I don't know, they just looked like they gave their best shot. Couldn't get a win, couldn't get a cover. Here we go in game 4.
And for 1 minute in that game, they looked phenomenal. Korver was nailing them left and right. Teague was nailing it. Hell, Al Horford was nailing threes. And I thought,
unfortunately, there's 48 minutes in the game.
Exactly, and LeBron is the one that saw it. I'm telling you, man, this guy's going to be a coach when he's done. He's very, very good.
And you had a great call on that. You were like, no, you like Cleveland. You give them 48 minutes, they'll cover this one. Give them 24 minutes, maybe not, right?
Yep, exactly.
So here we go. If they had been a 5-point favorite in the other game, they would have covered that one too. And they're a 5-point favorite here. What do you think?
I'm going with the first half and the game. Cleveland Cavaliers. They're going to go. They're going to jump out and they're going to put them out. So what's the first half?
Well, the first half is 2.5. The full game is 5. Now this is interesting because in game 3, I specifically asked you. You didn't take the first half. Here you are. What's the difference? You
because
think that Atlanta's just done?
Well, they see it. The writing's on the wall. I think mentally Atlanta knows there's no way we're going to win 4 in a row against this team. And they know, the Cleveland Cavaliers know we got to bury them right now. Let's put the dagger in there, baby. Let's just come out storming. Cover in the first half and cover in the game.
You don't think the top brass in the NBA comes down to Cleveland and says to them, listen, win this one at home. We'll get another game of ad revenues. Give this one to Atlanta. They win it. Then you go home.
You know what? And that could be happen all the way trickling down from the NBA. Who knows? And if that happens, there's nothing I can do to control it. Because my edge, my studying is in the minds of these players. And I just think LeBron wants to get this thing done. So I'm jumping on it. Half in the game. Atlanta's going to give a valiant effort, maybe, but it's over. They're going to get it done.
Fair enough. And then the Spurs and OKC. That was an interesting. The first half under wound up cashing.
Yes.
95. I thought that was a good play. I'm kind of leaning towards the first half over again here. Same line, 95. Spurs.
Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't that be the same type of game? I think it will be. I think it would.
You think it'll be the same type of game?
I really do.
Where the first half is lower scoring, second half higher scoring?
Yes, I do.
Really? Why do you think that?
Because I think both teams kind of had an idea of how they're playing because they made some changes. There were some changes that were made by Oklahoma City. So I think it's just going to start out slow, feel each other out. I don't think they want to get into a shootout. I just don't. And this is going to be a battle.
Yeah. Well, the Spurs are up 2-1, and right now the line is +1. Greek has 1.5.
I need to say something though, because I watched this yesterday. This is the difference again between good coaches and great coaches. 3 different times, OKC hit a big shot to just try to knock into that lead, and each time Pop called a timeout. He said, I'm nipping that shit in the bud right now. And then after the third timeout, who was it? Westbrook flew down the floor. All right, just went right around Parker, left Duncan sitting there looking like he was just lost. Slam dunk. He calls a timeout and lays into them too like it was just unbelievable. I mean, it was like I'd never seen anything like it. Right. And guess what they did? They frickin' responded.
And that right there is the difference between good handicappers and great handicappers, Mike Brenner. And the proof is in the pudding with you with your record. All right, so what's your analysis of this game then? You want to take it one way or another?
Absolutely, I'm going to stay the hell away from it because if OKC, which I know Kevin Durant has fight in him, even though I think think he's gone from that team. And Billy Donovan, all right, you got to remember, this is a guy that's used to putting up 45 to 49 points with the Florida Gators. All right, half-court offense and all that. This is the NBA, and he has not made the great adjustment yet. Will it happen? It could. I don't know. But it's not happening here. Thunder are in trouble because Durant is gone in his mind. He's not going to be back with that team.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, though, and I wouldn't talk you off it if you like the Spurs. I think the Spurs are going to go out and get it.
Yeah, feels that way as well, and the Greek has a lean that way as well.
What is the line right now?
It's OKC +1, but the Greek has a lean to the Spurs. The Greek is hanging 1.5.
Yeah.
And the first half is pick 'em.
Yeah, I'm staying off at Pistol Pete.
Okay, all right, fair enough. All right, so I'm definitely going to be on Toronto +5.5, and I think that's going to be my only play. What are your plays?
Okay, I've got 3 plays. I've got the Miami Heat today on the first half -3. Okay, 2 today actually, and then I got Golden State on the game -3. Pistol Pete, and then tomorrow I've got 2. I'm going with the Cavs on the first half -2.5, and the game -5. Because guess what? They know they can get it done. They can bury him and put the dagger in, and I think they're going to get it done. So feeling good about those 4 picks, Pistol Pete.
Yeah, and we trust you, Mike Brenner. You really are showing your stuff here in the NBA playoffs. Great analysis, great picks, and no teasers today, right?
No teasers today, but my teasers have been cashing.
What's your teaser? Just give a plug for yourself. What's your overall teaser record?
Just my teaser record itself is 71%. Okay, but
those are -110 bets.
Yeah, of course.
Actually, some of them some books are +100.
Some were +100, but yeah, very, very productive. It's definitely profitable.
There you go. Thanks for your analysis, Mike Brenner. We will be back Monday for the Monday show and the Monday games.
Let's beat that book again because I love it.